After graduation, I looked for jobs and tried to find a job, and it was kind of hard. I would get part-time jobs here and there. But before that, we had moved to Beltsuver, 713 Montour Street, and my father had gotten us a puppy named Rusty, and we stayed there for a while. Then he bought a house on Chalfont Street, 220 Chalfont Street in Beltsuver. There were two churches on that street, one on each corner. I don't remember the names. And then I started going out partying and going over to my aunt's house, stay there sometimes, and we would go to different bars. I don't know if that tickles me. Then we would go like to Bertie Dunlap's Hurricane, where they had jazz sessions. Back then they had a lot of places where they had three-piece combos and sets like that, and where you could go and dance and have dinner and have a good time. And then I met my husband in 61 or 62. Yeah, 60 or 61, because I got married in 62. Coming out of a bar. I was going in and he was coming out, and we started talking, and we exchanged telephone numbers, because it was still telephones back then. And then we just hooked up, and we liked each other and stuff, and got married September 29th today. I was 20-something, 20, 18, 19, 20, 20, 20, 21, I guess. I can't remember. 58 years ago. And so, just did different things, and then I moved to the, what did I move to? First I moved down on Climax Street, 97 Climax, and the landlady's name was something, but we always called her Miss because she was from the South, and everything she said was, she used to end so I always called her Miss And then I had another baby. I have 3, and then then I used to have a daycare in my home. I watched other people's children. My husband would go to work. He was a construction worker at the time. He worked on that building across from where the Civic Arena was, big building. Then he worked on Toys R Us. He helped, he worked buildings, and he would walk the planks, from one thing to the other. I don't see how he did it. I can't hardly walk across the floor without tripping. And had daycare or stayed at home. I didn't work till my youngest was 9 years old. I stayed home and laid around, do nothing. Or babysat. Everybody else worked. And I found that wasn't the life for me. I didn't like it, sitting around. Oh, it's so boring. How often can you clean? Wipe it and go sit down. I wasn't much into TV. I'm a music person. I like music, all types. And I would play music all day, every day. Or then when I babysat, I would take the children to different places, like the skating rink or downtown, to different things, so they get exposure. Then I would teach my children how to handle business, how to handle money, and like when I finally got a job, I worked at Presby, so it was their job to come and get my paycheck, go to the bank and cash my check. Stand there, when they count it to you, you count it back, you put it in your pocket, and I gave them a note, no, yeah, a grocery list, and they would have to go to the store and start my groceries, and then I would come, because I got off at 3:30, and they would go and have it already in a, then we get a jitney and go on back home. Used to have parties. I belonged to a lot of clubs. That's about all. I can't think of anything else. Oh yes, we had Christmas tree, had all kind of gifts, and whatever the children in the neighborhood would get, I would veer from that. I would always get them something different, like hockey sticks and stuff, pogo sticks, and I always like to be different, exposed to something, things, stuff, and stop following the crowd. Do something different, learn something different. And then everybody would follow what I did, you know, copycats. I was 19 when I had my first child. Then I had a second one when I must have was 22. Then I had my third one, 24. And then I said, no more, that's it, done. I couldn't take it. And they were terrible to me. They would do all kind of things. Boys are horrible. They're nasty. They would like to bring slimy stuff in that they find, and I was always asleep. I think I was in a state of depression at one time because I was always asleep. And I wake up and be on the couch, and on the back of the couch would be jars of stuff. Yeah, I used to go to Alabama and different things, New York. I would go, I'd travel, leave the kids, keep it moving. Nowhere particular. And then once I became separated, then I really traveled. I went everywhere I wanted to go. I went on a cruise. I've been to the Rockettes in New York. I've been to Canada. I've been to Texas. I've been to Reno, stayed 3 weeks. Alabama. You name it, I went. I'd go to work, take my suitcase, got off from work, got on the airplane. Because they had a airport bus right in Oakland, and you can go where that new hotel is now, but you get on the bus and they take you to the airport, and I always had my ticket. And I would zoom away, fly away. By myself, I traveled alone. Because I've come to find out, long as I can go with you when you want to go somewhere, it's fine. But when I ask you to go somewhere with me, they never had time. So I said, oh, I don't need that. I don't need no dead weight. So I traveled alone. I had people wherever I went, you know, and I didn't have to stay in a hotel, and I would party. And then, but at that time I was a big number fan. So every place I went, I would play the address and I would hit. Every time I would hit the numbers. Get some of that money and bring it back home. And I said, how you do that? I said, I don't know. And then like here, if I go to somebody's house I've never been, I always play their address for 3 days and it comes up. So, just a little side money in the pocket. My grandson. And because I wanted to go to school to be a lawyer, to take up classes and stuff, but I got him and I took care of him, push him on. So he went to school. He was very smart. That's what I remember. It's a little shaky, and that's what I remember.